Yay!
From right here in New Jersey, they consist of that. This Cortese and John Mazure, they comprise this formation team known as the Jersey Jerks. They are flying advanced trainers of World War II, the North American 86 Texans. Today's performance by the Jersey Jerks team is aimed to salute the greatest generation, those who served and participated in World War II more than 80 years ago. The Jersey Jerks team are going to work their way around and give us a look at some of the flight training techniques of World War II as they fly these four North American 86 Texan aircraft together in a variety of different formation shapes, just like they did some 80 plus years ago. There were three phases of flight training during the Second World War. The first was primary training. It was followed by basic and advanced. These airplanes that we're seeing represent those advanced training stages as part of this multi-month, three-phase process in new aviation techniques. 17 minutes into complex aircraft, being silent combat assignments in the Earth and Pacific. We're going to watch now as the formations change, as they work their way from the in-trail formation flight paths. These heavy, nearly 3-ton aircraft were complicated airplanes to fly on purpose. Those very young aviation cadets would get their start in off the Boeing Stearman Model 75. It was a two-place, 220 horsepower biplane that was really well built for training new cadets, takeoffs and landings to find their elements of flight. They were so primitive to even that they don't even have electrical systems that made them instructor who would sit in the back seat and they communicate using what was known as the gosport, as they were known. Kind of like a doctor's stethoscope, hose that allowed the pilot, the instructor, to shout into and communicate with the pilot in the front seat. We have come a very long way in the history of aviation. These airplanes that we see today are warbirds. They are the ability of aircraft, living bodies that allow us to tell stories.
Yay! Kevin Russo, Boss Cortese.
In these particular aircraft, the 86 Texans, they were known in U.S. Army Air Force. So it was here that the three, I said kids, 17 to 19-year-old pilots who learned how to get the complex airplanes with a lot more horsepower. These particular aircraft are very fighters of its time, such as the North American P-51 Mustang, maybe the Republic P-47
Yay, he's back.
Marine Corps pilot. You would fly perhaps the chance of M40 Corsair, just to name a couple. More than 10,000 of these advanced trainers were built. Several hundred are still on the registry today in airworthy condition, and here are just 4 being flown today by your local home state representatives, that of Gavin Nagle, Buzz Cortese, John Mazure, and Russo. They are now going to reposition themselves out and behind us as they set up for what they like to call the whirling. Watch for the smoke to come on. This is going to be a great photo opportunity as the Jersey Jerks approach from high.
So for me to go to King Bay is allowed. For me to come here. So
Pittsburgh's formation team.
Yay!
This team of aviators are now going to work their way around. They are members of an organization called FAST. It's called the Formation and Safety Team. It's an organization that helps teach formation flying and teach it safely. They are now going to rejoin in front of the crowd and tell you a bit about how important these airplanes were during World War II. And the fact that these aircraft serve as truly national monuments to tell the stories of our veterans. The average age of a World War II vet today, this day, is over 100 years old. Only this very small handful are still among us today. And a salute to those great individuals, the greatest generation. We are about to see a missing man formation being flown in tribute to those who lost their lives in our liberties and our nation. And we'll tell you about its significance as and freedoms. Members of our military often ask to bear the burden of our country's defense. It is a task that sometimes is asking these brave men and women to give their lives for. The places are often foreign. The foreign they may be, the rebellion that remains empty to those.
So here, if you go to the you go to Salvador, nice white lines in. Down south,
Yee!
Very much for your silence. Let's watch high and overhead. And listen to the sound of this You'll hear a very loud, low growling sound. That's the engine. And then you're going to hear a very super sonic at around 21 RPM. In fact, creating sonic booms. He's been cleared and found for his area display bus service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's lift high and overhead and welcome to your
Kevin Russo! Yay! At 9. Wow.
Frontline fighters during World War II. We're going to watch now as Russo approaches again from the right-hand side and sets to fly the aircraft up and over the top for a series of loops right at show center. In his right hand is the control stick. In his left hand he has the throttle, and down by his feet he has his rudder hands. And he in fact uses the ailerons for roll, the elevator for pitch, and the rudder for yaw. Like a rudder on a boat, if you will. To keep things coordinated, he wants all those flight controls simultaneously.
They pay for it, you know, and then it's, yeah.
Wow!
Russo now is in positions to our left-hand side and sets up with a 4-point hesitation roll. Big heavy airplane, about 5,300 pounds. And again, Bill wants it each and every time. We're going to watch as Gavin Russo picks up our show line once again from our left. We're going to watch as he turns the smoke on and dives in from our left-hand side, getting that speed, approaching now at our
One, two, three. Yay! Yay! Oh, I can't clap. I forgot. I can't clap. Wow.
Hours of flight time. Today he serves as a captain for a major airline, and he flies the Airbus A300. S standing for Scout, N standing for North American, and J standing for the marker in the series of aircraft that was built by that very famous manufacturer in World War II. He's going to fly up over the top in this series we're known as the Cupid. This is a figure that was in picture much behind us. It was an individual named Greenwood, the American pilot.
Zephyr.
Pulled up into a loop and realized on top of that loop that he was swelled. That didn't have quite the numbers of the altitude that he wanted. And then he pulled up one. He did so twice, describing this big figure eight laying on its side. At the time, Lynn Hobie was trained in the Cuban Air Force, and the Cuban pilots truly were amazed. This was 1936, and they asked him what the maneuver was called. He had quick wit. He said, "Coach Pico," or Cuban Air Force. 90 years. How about we put our hands together for the history edition of the Cuban Eight?
Yay.
So were these advanced trainers of World War II flying what were known as mosquito missions. With the advent of the jet, we had a new problem with aerial warfare, and particularly for air-to-ground missions. Those fast jets had a hard time spotting targets. So they put these airplanes in an 8-round fight, and once they made it out, they would then mark them by firing very large bursts of white phosphorus rockets. They would call bullets.
Oh no.
Huge volumes of smoke. They were the early forward air controllers, or FACs for short. They would then radio up to the jets. They would say, "Hit the smoke," and that's how they took advantage of a World War II passport obsolete airplane later on in the jet age as part of the Korean conflict. Russo's performance for us here this evening. And because he, in fact, accelerates the force of gravity when he goes through some of these turns in this hole like he's doing right now, he's setting down the middle because he's at +1 G. You can actually pour a glass of iced tea and still drop. The airplane is still at least 1 G. That's where we are standing on Earth. And of course, as he continues through some of these pulls of these turns, he will accelerate those G forces upwards of this routine to about maybe a maximum of 5 Gs. So if you were a 200-pound person like me and maybe pulled, say, 5 Gs, you would weigh 1,000 pounds inside the cockpit. It's pretty punishing because all of the fly the more high-performance aerobatic airplanes, it is
Wow.
the opposite of those, one of those negative G's, where all of it goes to your head. The human body can withstand a whole lot.
Wow.
We're going to watch Gavin Russo as he plays a great sight here in the skies over the Greenwood Lake Airport, and has been much better than that. And the star over the R1340 radio is at power as Kevin works his way to one of his final passes of his routine today to see the photo pass. In our airshow business, we actually call testimony, or not, a banana pass.
Teraz poleciał już na ten, na New York.
The next video will be about him.
Earlier today in our pre-show, in fact, it's Nathan Hammond, best known as the Ghost Rider. He just flying this. Don't let that fool you, because this airplane is